obviously you got the college football. Number 2 is Williams. And then right beside him on the left is Reggie Bush. That bush goes into that burning bush. You know what I mean? Remember God spoke to Moses through the burning bush. And I'm gonna go to the other one. They block. Notice they got to be standing like that because they all want to block the stairs. They don't want us. They're like, you got to go through us to get to that altar, the top of that altar. I'm gonna show it in a minute though. But remember, Tyrese Halliburton. Remember he had to hit that shot against the Knicks. And obviously on the Knicks you got Josh Hart. Hart just goes to the heart, the cardiac, the Cara. You have Karl Anthony Towns, and then you got Mikal Bridges, Michael the Bridge, the one like God, who's the bridge to the Father, Christ. And then Anthony Towns, Cara. You know what I mean? And then also, you got Thomas Bryant. Remember his name is Bryant, and he playing for the Pacers. Remember back in 2002, remember Kobe played against the Pacers, Kobe Bryant. And now this year you got Bryant on the team this year when the Pacers are back in the finals. And remember during that time you had the DC sniping going on. Remember they were shooting through the back of a car. And it was John Muhammad. And then obviously, you got Tyrese Halliburton, who middle name John, and his dad name is John Halliburton. There's just the John the Baptist blasphemy. But, they called it the Beltway sniper attacks because that belt just goes into that Louis belt. That one you raise up the Messiah with. That's why Drake said, sun is down on sicko mode. Sun is down, freezing cold. That's how you already know winter's here. My dog could probably do it for a Louis belt, because that whole thing shooting through that car. Cara, coming to gather up his saints, people dying daily in Christ, being, reborn. Just blasphemy of what they do, And that's why during that time, remember that was around the time of 9/11 with the passport, with the security, going through TSA. And right now, the same time frame with the Pacers again, because they go that Cara, it goes into the real ID and everything you need to travel now, Just like 9/11. Remember around 9/11, it was hard to travel back then, It's very important to know what's going on. They already know that time of that Exodus is coming. That's why they say you got to have that real ID, that star on your ID, just like it was during the time of what they called the Holocaust, the blaspheme, to make it look like they were the real Jews. With the star on their ID, getting ready to go inside the concentration camps. And that's what they know getting ready to come now, people who are not declared as Judah, who just falling in false identities. That's why they want everybody, you could stay here, because they already know what they got planned. You want to bring that guillotine and go to war against the children of God.